The year? Yeah. And it was fight of the year. I mean, come on, this was a war. It was a close fight. Vergil attacked the entire night.
Crawford will be next. Vergil Ortiz and Crawford. If Vergil wins tonight, is that the
You will see now.
I will see now.
Oh, we knew it was a close fight. Serhii came to fight. He was prepared better than ever. Honestly, he came in prepared. He came in to fight all 12 rounds very hard. He took a lot of punishment too, and I got to give him respect and credit for the type of fight that he put up.
It was the knockdowns is what made the points come up real close, but I think Ortiz had it.
So without taking anything away from the fight, you got to give both of these warriors a lot of credit. So it's just for us, we feel that he's still a champion, and we feel he won that fight and should still be considered a champion.
In a fight that has left a lot of reactions and disappointments, Vergil Ortiz emerged as the winner against Bohachuk, becoming the new interim WBC super welterweight champion. The fight was something that was worth our time, packed with non-stop action. Enough action that left both the fighters with a pending visit to the hospital. However, there has been some controversy and interesting reactions to it. Like we all expected, Ortiz's win wasn't a walk in the park. He hit the canvas twice during the bout, but in the end, he managed to secure a majority decision with scores of 114, 112 twice, and 113, 113. The fight was a close call, but according to the judges, it was clear that Ortiz had done enough to edge out his Ukrainian opponent.
Manny Robles is respectful. Serhii's always been respectful for all of his opponents, so they're angry about something, but we'll see it.
The fight was a true test for Ortiz, and 3 key points stood out. First, this fight was far more exciting than many of the highly promoted matchups we've seen this year. Matter of fact, fans saw it as more interesting than the Madrimov-Crawford fight. This one was a classic brawl, with both fighters trading heavy blows in the center of the ring, showing the kind of heart and power that fans love to see. Now, even though Ortiz was knocked down twice, Bohachuk wasn't robbed. The Ukrainian fighter did have his moments, especially with the knockdowns, but Ortiz's resilience and ability to rally back in the later rounds made the difference. The fight was closely contested, but the decision was fair.
So without taking anything away from the fight, you got to give both of these warriors a lot of credit. So it's just for us, we feel that he's still a champion, and we feel he won that fight and should still be considered a champion.
However, the fight has left words coming out of the pros' mouths. The first reaction came from Tim Tszyu, who himself could have been facing Ortiz soon. Tszyu, known for his own powerful performances in the super welterweight division, didn't hold back when discussing the fight, especially given the 2 knockdowns Ortiz suffered during the match.
I haven't seen much of Bohachuk, but I heard he's tough. That's all I've heard. But I don't know. It should be interesting. I'll be in Vegas at the time, so see if I can pop in and have a look.
Tszyu acknowledged the sheer excitement of the fight, saying, "Man, that was a cracker of a fight. Ortiz and Bohachuk really gave it their all. It was non-stop action, and both of them showed the kind of heart that makes boxing so special."
I know it's boxing, you never know. But man, that was a crowd pleaser for sure, That was a cracker fight.
Hey Tim, that was almost you in there, man. I mean, what would happen if...
And we can all agree with him. The fight was indeed a crowd pleaser, with both fighters landing heavy shots and refusing to back down. A performance many fans said you wouldn't see coming from a fighter like Shakur.
Hey, look, 1 round back and forth, It was the knockdowns is what made the points come up real close. But I think Ortiz had it.
Reflecting on Ortiz's performance, Tszyu pointed out that the fight was Ortiz's first real test at 154 pounds. A division that demands a different level of toughness and skill. This was Ortiz's first proper fight at 154, Tszyu noted. He's stepping up to a different class now, and it showed in there. Those 2 knockdowns would have swung the fight either way. It was close, but Ortiz managed to pull through.
And this was his first proper fight at 154. He really... Yes. That was his first 154.
Tszyu, who is familiar with the challenges of fighting at super welterweight, emphasized the unpredictability of boxing. "You never know in boxing," he said. "One punch can change everything, and with those 2 knockdowns, it could have been either even or Bohachuk could have been in front, but Ortiz showed his grit by finishing strong." The Australian fighter also shared his thoughts on what might have happened if he were in Ortiz's shoes. "If that was me in there, it would have been a cracker, man. These 2 are warriors, and regardless of the outcome, they both showed what it takes to compete at this level. You still want to see more of Ortiz after this, that's for sure."
Hey Tim, that was almost you in there, man. I mean, what would happen if Vergil fought you?
It would have been a cracker, man. It would have been a cracker. These 2 are warriors, man.
Tszyu, who has been steadily rising in the ranks at 154 pounds, understands the challenges that come with moving up in competition. He appreciated the show that Ortiz and Bohachuk put on, acknowledging that this fight was a significant learning experience for Ortiz. "They put on a hell of a show," Tszyu said. "This fight will only make Ortiz better. He's got the power and the heart, but now he knows what it's like to be in there with someone who can push him to his limits. That's what it takes to be great in this division."
Regardless of the outcome, would you still want to fight Vergil?
Yeah, for sure, man. He put on a hell of a show, And
Now, Bohachuk did not just push Ortiz's limits. After Vergil Ortiz Jr. twice hard-fought victory, his trainer Robert Garcia revealed that Ortiz had to be taken to the hospital as a precaution. Garcia explained that the Nevada State Athletic Commission insisted on the hospital visit due to the intense nature of the fight and the 2 knockdowns Ortiz endured.
Fine, but the Nevada Commission told us that it's best for him to go get checked in the hospital. So they took him right now. He walked to the ambulance.
Vergil was fine. He walked to the ambulance and everything, Garcia said. He was responding clearly and told them he felt good, but the commission said it's best for him to get checked out at the hospital. It's just something they require after a fight like this. Despite the precautionary measure, Garcia emphasized that Ortiz appeared to be in good spirits and was not showing any signs of serious injury. The hospital visit was purely a safety protocol, ensuring Ortiz's health was thoroughly assessed after such a grueling battle.
And everything, but it was just a requirement that was brought up by the commission. Vergil was responding everything clearly and told them that he felt good, but they said we still want you to go because it's something that is required, because of the type of fight that he was involved in.
But then Ryan Garcia came in. Ryan Garcia didn't hold back when he took to Twitter to share his thoughts on Vergil Ortiz Jr. 8's performance against Serhii Bohachuk. In a series of tweets, Garcia expressed strong opinions about the fight, making it clear that he wasn't impressed with Ortiz's victory and felt that the fight could have gone the other way. Garcia kicked things off by reminding his followers of his personal history with Ortiz, stating, Y'all understand I've never lost to Vergil Ortiz? That's just facts. Not one time has he beat me. This tweet seemed to set the tone for his critique, as Garcia made sure to emphasize that despite Ortiz's rise in the ranks, he had never managed to get the best of him in their previous encounters. He continued by addressing those who might be inclined to celebrate Ortiz's victory too much, saying, "So don't even try to play with me." Garcia's message here was clear. Just because Ortiz had won this fight, it didn't mean that he was above criticism or beyond defeat. In a pointed assessment of the fight, Garcia argued that Ortiz didn't do enough to convincingly win the fight. He did not take that from the champion, Garcia tweeted, suggesting that Ortiz's performance wasn't dominant enough to clearly earn the victory. He then went on to voice his support for Bohachuk, saying, "Ukraine won that or a draw." This was Garcia's way of saying that, in his view, the fight was either a win for Bohachuk or at the very least a draw, given how close and competitive it was. Garcia was particularly critical of Ortiz's defense and the damage he sustained during the fight. "Got dropped twice, got hit with right hands that you can see coming. Face messed up," he tweeted, highlighting the 2 knockdowns Ortiz suffered and how vulnerable he appeared at times. For Garcia, these moments were evidence that Ortiz was far from untouchable and that his victory wasn't as clear-cut as some might believe. In his final tweet on the subject, Garcia issued a stern reminder to Ortiz, saying, "Don't talk like you are someone that's unbeatable when this fight is close." With this, Garcia seemed to be cautioning Ortiz against getting too confident or cocky after a fight that, in his eyes, could have easily gone the other way. Ryan Garcia's tweets reflect his competitive nature and his willingness to call out his peers when he feels it's necessary. While he acknowledged the toughness of the fight, his comments clearly indicated that he wasn't sold on Ortiz's performance and believed that the outcome was far from a decisive victory. But there was Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins had a lot to say following Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s close victory over Serhii Bohachuk. While Hopkins admired Ortiz's grit and determination, he made it clear that the young fighter might not yet be ready for the likes of Terence Crawford, a matchup he was eagerly waiting for. Hopkins, who has always been vocal about his passion for high-stakes fights, didn't mince words when discussing the possibility of Ortiz facing Crawford. "Listen, Ortiz is a warrior. He showed heart, he showed power, but I wanted to see him step up in this fight and show that he's ready for the big dogs like Crawford," Hopkins remarked.
Both guys are in the hospital. Hopefully they're okay. I'm pretty sure, just more of blood and bruises, but just hopefully they're okay.
But from what I saw, he's not quite there yet. But with enough work, he will. The former middleweight and light heavyweight champion emphasized that Ortiz's performance against Bohachuk, while commendable, exposed some vulnerabilities that would be dangerous against an elite fighter like Crawford. You can't ignore the fact that Ortiz got dropped twice. Crawford's a guy who capitalizes on every mistake, and you can't afford those kinds of lapses against him. I was looking forward to seeing Ortiz challenge Crawford, but based on this fight, I think he needs more time.
Move on to the next. Once he heal up, lick his wounds, and get back in there when it's time.
Hopkins went on to express his disappointment, as he was particularly excited about the potential clash between Ortiz and Crawford, viewing it as a test to see whether the young contender could truly hang with the best. "I've been waiting for a fight like Ortiz versus Crawford, a fight where a young lion tries to take out the top dog. But right now, Ortiz needs to work on a few things before he can realistically step in the ring with Crawford." Despite his critique, Hopkins remained optimistic about Ortiz's future, acknowledging his potential and the valuable experience gained from such a tough fight. This was a learning fight for Ortiz, and he's going to come back stronger. But Crawford is on another level, and if Ortiz wants that fight, he's got to show that he's ready. I still want to see it happen, but only when Ortiz is truly prepared for what Crawford brings to the table.
This could be like
Of course,
a second,
I
third
think they
fight.
will be. I think they will be with a fight like that with some would say controversy, and some close rounds. It was some very, very close rounds. Could have went.
Well, what did you think of the fight? And do you think Ortiz might put up a fight against Crawford? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more.